Well, I think it's shifted definitively toward a buyer's market.
That's right, the CEO of Redfin just confirmed that we're heading towards a buyer's market. But here's the thing, there's a catch that he didn't mention. In this video, I'm going to talk about what's really happening, the hidden risk and opportunities for home buyers that no one's talking about, and how to avoid ending up in foreclosure by making the wrong move.
So a year ago, there just wasn't enough inventory, and still inventory isn't very high, but demand is in retreat. And so we're seeing the days on market, the time it takes to sell a house, increase by about 15%. And so people who were once participating in bidding wars are now set to get a good deal.
According to a recent Redfin report, there are 4.1 months of inventory on the market nationwide. This is actually the highest level that we've had in 6 years. Now, I can see why it might feel like a buyer's market, but on a national level, it's not. 6 months of inventory would give us a balanced market, and anything more than that would give us a buyer's market. So I need you to pay very close attention right now, because there are cities that are actually buyer's markets, and there could potentially be some good opportunities there. Some of these cities have even reached their pre-2020 inventory levels.
Well, it's a tale of two markets. So, for example, in Cincinnati, there are still bidding wars, but in Jacksonville, it has shifted 100% to a buyer's market. So it really varies from market to market. Places like Austin, Texas are the ones that were most overvalued during the pandemic. And so there, the market is still in free fall, both to rent a home and to buy a home. There is a glut of inventory. And I never thought I'd say that in 2021 or 2022.
According to a recent report, Jacksonville, Florida has 6.3 months of inventory, which is over that 6-month mark we mentioned. So it's now a buyer's market. Homes also stay on the market for 83 days, which is above the national median of 66 days. So here's why that's important. As a local market becomes a buyer's market, there's a good chance that prices start to come down. Also, if a home has been sitting on the market for a very long time, so 90 days, 120 days, and so on, there's a good chance that it may not be priced correctly and the cuts will start. Let's look at an example. All right, so this is a 3-bed, 2-bath home in Jacksonville. It is on sale for $299,000. It has been on the market for nearly 120 days, so for almost 4 months. And if you notice in the description, it says big price reduction. It says seller is willing to pay $5,000 to buyer closing costs, prepaid at closing, plus a 1-year home warranty. So they really are desperate to get rid of this thing. So let's check out some of the pictures, and then we'll look at the price history. So the picture of the front, a couple more front pictures. This is also the front. It's like a pretty big yard, and a couple other, too many shots of the front, goodness. All right, now we're inside. We have like a kitchen over here. And then this is probably like a living room or something. Maybe another angle of the living room. All right. More shots of the kitchen. A lot of duplicate pictures almost. More kitchen shots. Kitchen is like a back porch deck situation. This might be inside of one of the bedrooms, potentially. I think so. Then we keep going. One of the bathrooms. Another bathroom shot. Washer dryer hookups, I believe. Bathroom, bedroom. Got the back porch. Pretty good sized porch. Pretty big yard too, I must say. Very big yard. All right, you get the idea. So the lot is almost a half acre. So that's actually pretty attractive. All right, so let's check out the price history. So it was listed for sale in November, but if we look back even before that, in 2022, it was sold for 80,000. So I'm going to assume that it was in terrible shape if it sold for 80,000. And so November 2024, it was put on the market for 410. They dropped it to 374 just before the new year. Then in February, they dropped it to 319, and now it's at 299. So the price of this particular property has dropped over $100,000. Now, what have we learned here? In my opinion, this home was overpriced from day one. Let me know what you think. Do you think it's fairly priced now at about $300,000? Do you think it'll drop even more? Me personally, I think it's gonna drop even more, because like we said, Jacksonville is now in a buyer's market. So if someone's in that market, you might be able to offer them even less. Depending on how desperate they are, maybe they'll take it. So Austin is another city that he mentioned. In a recent Redfin report shared that Austin has 5.5 months of inventory. So they're getting very close to that balanced market of 6 months. Homes stay on the market for 87 days, which is almost 20 days above the national median of 66 days. So even though Austin is not technically in a buyer's market yet, there are homes that have had significant price cuts. Some have even had price cuts of over $100,000. Let's look at an example. Okay, so this is a 3-bed, 3-bath home. It is 2,093 square feet, and it is on the market for $774,900. It has been on the market for over 100 days. And won't you look at this? In the description, huge price drop, all caps, significantly below comps. Seller wants it sold. Take advantage of 100% financing with no PMI for qualified buyers using preferred lender. So this is like a builder. Okay. Let's check out some of the pictures. I can't tell if this is AI or not. I have a feeling it might be. Y'all let me know what you think of this first picture with the, living room, kitchen area, or whatever this is. Let me see the outside. I'm not going to lie to you. He's overpriced, but I love this green. I really like this green. Let me know what you think about that. And then you got the wood fence. Okay, I like the exterior. I'm not going to lie to you. Nice landscaping right here. And then you have another shot of the kitchen. Yeah, this is like a different color. I think this is like AI staging, but you have like kitchen, dining area. Pretty sure it's a different setup than we just saw. And then you have it empty and then some more kitchen shots. This is probably one of the bedrooms and actually has a little patio as well. Or maybe this is like the first floor. I don't know. Got a bathroom shot. This looks like a bedroom with a lot of natural light. You have the two windows here and then a little small ones up there. And then another bedroom shot. Presumably this one is an empty version of the bedroom. You got the bathroom. You got the double sinks here. You got a tub and a shower. Okay, that's pretty cool. Big closet. Another bathroom. Another bedroom, I guess. And then just a couple more bedroom shots. There's like an office at the top, it looks like. Or what could be used as an office. And then there's a little bit of space outside. And then you see here is like just the layout of the house. Oh, so this is 3 floors. Wow. All right. It's a lot of space. Okay. So let's look at the price history. Ooh, so this has been well over 100 days. They've been trying to sell this thing for over a year. So it was first put back on the market in February 2024 for 970. Then in April 2024, they dropped this to 925. In July 2024, dropped to 895. And they took the listing down in October 2024 and they put it back in December of 2024 for 799 and then dropped it to what we have now of the 774,900. So it dropped by pretty much $200,000 and they've been trying to sell it for over a year. What does that tell you? Let's use some logic here. If it was priced correctly, do you think they would have to continue to cut the price for over a year? Probably not. And this is the problem that I have with some of these homes that I see on the market these days. It's almost as if the sellers just slap the highest price they can think of and hope that an uneducated buyer just comes and gives them the max amount of money. In my opinion, it's pure delusion. And I've said this before, and we've gone over countless properties on this channel, and I don't understand what's going through the minds of these sellers sometimes. If you are looking to buy a home, I am begging you, please do not overpay. Do not get into any bidding wars. Please make a sound decision. So let me know in the comments, do you believe that the homes we just looked at are overpriced? So if you believe that any city where there's a buyer's market is the perfect city to invest in, the next clip might make you reconsider that.
So there are some places that are hotter than others. Another example is that Florida 1 or 2 years ago just had so much demand. There's still some demand for the inland areas of Florida, of Florida, but on the coast, people have become wary. They are worried about hurricanes. They are worried about being able to insure the house. Sometimes they want to buy a home, but they can't get a mortgage because that depends in turn on getting insurance, which has become impossible to buy or just very expensive.
So we find ourselves here in an interesting position. Let's be real. We all want a buyer's market. Why? Because it'll be in our favor. We can get better deals, so on and so forth. But what if that buyer's market comes with other issues? Issues like property taxes continuing to go up by a lot, insurance going up by a lot. These are all things we have to consider. All right, so as we see here, there are a number of cities in Florida where it is a tremendous buyer's market. It's almost like a year of inventory. So we look at Cape Coral, we look at Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, Northport, Jacksonville. These are all now buyer's markets. And also, if we look at the months of supply year over year, it's all increased from last year. So, I mean, these were buyer's markets last year as well. And we can also see the active listings year over year for all the places in Florida, they're up, right? And then we have McAllen, Texas, which has 10 and a half months of supply. It's up 2.5 months from last year. And also the active listings there are up as well. So that might be a place to consider. If you're already in Texas, if you will consider moving to Texas, if McAllen could be a place that fits the needs for you and or your family. Something to think about. You might be able to get some good deals there. New Orleans, 8.1 months of supply. Obviously, one of the challenges in Louisiana is insurance, right? So that's something to think about. But if you're already in New Orleans or in Louisiana or in the area and you are in the market to buy, it could potentially be a good time for you to buy something. And also want to point out San Antonio, it's now a balanced market, San Antonio, Texas. So potentially you can get some good deals there, but it seems like it's about on par with last year because it's only zero point 0.4 months higher in terms of supply than last year. So it looks like it's about even with whatever it was last year. And then we have some other markets that are kind of close to being at that balanced market of 6 months. So we have Orlando, which is, of course, in Florida. We have Austin, which we talked about, Tucson, Arizona, Houston, Texas. Houston, there's a lot of building happening in Houston, a lot of new construction homes. So it could be something to look into. And then Tampa, Arizona, and so forth. So these places are on the cusp. They're almost at a balanced market, but these are all places that might make sense for you. So is it a buyer's market? Nationwide, it's not. But as we just saw, there are a number of cities throughout the country that are either a buyer's market, a balanced market, or close to a balanced market. So to me, all those things are good signs. And I also want to let you know that real estate is local. Looking at the national data is cool. Seeing the national trends are cool. But the most important thing you can do is understand these trends at the local level where you live, assuming that you want to buy there, or if it's a place that you want to move. So another city you might want to move to or invest in. It's important that you understand this kind of data for the local market. A lot of the national data can be very misleading. If you're planning to buy a home in 2025, I need you to pay very close attention to this next part. But first, if you're getting any value out of this video, if you're learning something, if you're enjoying it, I would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe to this channel and hit that like button. It helps the channel a lot. It helps us to get in front of new people and help more people. So before we go any further, take a moment, hit the subscribe button and the like button. So it's clear that there are a mix of buyers markets, sellers markets, and balanced markets throughout the entire country. So if you're in an area that's not only expensive, but it's also a seller's market, there are several things that I want you to consider. It's honestly really hard to time the market. So I'm actually not going to encourage you to wait in the hopes that prices will come down. We really don't know that. A lot of people are predicting this huge crash, but there's honestly not any data pointing to us having any sort of crash. A correction, sure. In all those places in Florida, prices are coming down, but the reality of it is a lot of the prices in most cases are still above where they were 5 years ago. So there's a lot more cuts that need to happen for it to be affordable for many people. So if you can't afford to qualify for a home on your own, I want you to think about if you have any trusted friends or family members who are in the same situation. And if you do, you should consider combining your resources and buying together. Here's what I mean. This could look like buying a single family home. Let's say it's a 3-bedroom. You each have your own individual room. You split all the expenses and the mortgage and stuff. And maybe you consider renting out that 3rd bedroom on a long-term, mid-term, or short-term basis. This could also look like getting a 2-family home and the two of you living in one of the units and renting the other one out, or you living in one unit, your friend or family member living in the other unit, you split the mortgage and all the expenses down the middle, and that is your opportunity to get into home ownership. If you have a family, this situation still can apply. So you could potentially find a 2-family home that has enough rooms in each unit and enough space in each unit to accommodate your family and or another family. And again, you split the mortgage and all those things equally. In some cities, you even have 2 homes on one lot and it's considered a duplex. So maybe you could find a situation like that and you split everything up and you share the burden of that mortgage. These days, creativity is the most important thing because it is a tough market in many places, especially if you're in one of those high cost of living areas. So if you're someone who is able to move and you're looking for a primary residence, then I would consider one of these markets that have a balanced or buyer's market, or perhaps even one that's heading towards at least a balanced market, and see what deals you can find out there, see what opportunities there are, and you never know what you might be able to find. Don't buy more house than you can afford, and don't worry about impressing others. There are many people who buy a certain kind of house because of how it's going to look to other people, and that makes absolutely no sense to put yourself in a financial bind for other people. They don't pay your bills, so who cares what anybody thinks? Everybody has to start somewhere. So if you start with a smaller home than you would want, but it gets gets you into home ownership, that's totally fine. You can always upgrade and get into new properties as you go on in your journey. If you're looking to buy a new construction home, you should try to get as many incentives as you can. A lot of builders are offering incentives to make it more affordable. And if they've been sitting for a long time, you might get an even better deal. More broadly, if you find a home of any kind that you're looking for that's been on the market for a very long time, perhaps it's been on the market longer than the average in that area, then you could potentially get a good deal. You might find a motivated seller who would be willing to take less than it's listed for. You just got to think outside the box in these days to get deals done and to reach your goal of homeownership. And I have to be honest with you, prices are out of control in so many places across the country, but I don't want you to give up. I want you to be encouraged. If you're not in position to buy this year, I want you to learn as much as you can. Arm yourself with information so that when it's your time, you're ready to execute. Also, save as much and make as much money as you possibly can while you're figuring out this homeownership journey. Don't give up and make sure you prepare for when your time comes. In the pinned comment of this video, I have a bunch of free resources that I encourage you to download. It'll help you learn about real estate, whether you want to invest out of state, whether you want to invest locally. It'll give you some foundational information that'll help you get started on your journey. So make sure you go to the link in the description and you can access all those resources. So now that you know about the housing market shift, I want you to learn the truth about property taxes because I don't want you to lose your house because of property taxes. Check out this playlist right here.